I'm often asked how I get the layers in my journals or in any of my other work, the layers of color to look the way they look. And you know, one of the things I could suggest is that first of all, to study color management, because that makes a big difference when you're creating layers. But let me just show you a few examples with stencils of how I do layering and explain why I do what I do. First of all, I like to stick with similar stencils. So if I'm going to start layering on these pages, which these pages already have a lot of layers, but I'm going to add some more because that's how I am. Anyway, I'm going to pick some stencils that all have like sort of a cohesive feel. Like these stencils all have organic, sort of flowing shapes. I hope you're getting what I'm saying here. For instance, if I was going to pick these stencils are very rigid, square, versus these stencils are very fluid and organic. So that's kind of what I'm thinking to be cohesive with my theme, the look of it. So I've got a few colors that I have selected here, and I'm going to just start layering up. Pouncing, using my sponge. I've got black ink on here from a prior project that's still wet, so it's leaving a little impact, so I might want to grab a clean sponge. And I'm just going to kind of blend these colors as I go. And I often do not cover the whole background of what I'm doing. I just leave some of that that's going to pop through when I remove the stencil. And it's also going to be there riding out in the background of the overall piece. So let's see what this looks like. So we pull this up, and we've got a little page. Now here I got a little gloppy. No worries. Pounce it with the dry end of your sponge. And look how that just sort of blends in with the background, and it doesn't look gloppy anymore. So that's how I would handle that situation. All right, so let's grab this guy, and let's get another color here. And again, I'm keeping the sponge dry-ish with the paint, because that's the best way. This is a kind of a yellow that's going to just go right into our background here. And it's going to give us a real nice look. Gloppy, you just dab it again with the sponge, and it'll be fine. Sometimes it's nice to pop a little bit of white. This is just some gesso, and I'm going to get a little bit on the sponge and then also wipe it off again so you've got that drier sponge effect. I wasn't digging that yellow so much, were you? I think this white's going to be better. Okay, so then you've got this line. Once again, go back, just blend it out with another sponge. And that gives kind of a nice little definition of that page. I think I'm going to do this across the bottom. Get a little more gesso on here. And you can see, again, I'm just using parts of the stencil, and I'm blending it out so that sometimes you can't even tell what stencils I've used necessarily. And you know what? That's the way I like it. I like it to be a little bit more mysterious that way. So now let's add another, more of a focal point component. I think you're getting the idea that I create these layers in a rather spontaneous way. And I just keep layering and layering and layering until I get a look that I like. And I think that this is going to give me something to go with. It's got a lot of nice color that I love.